Hey there, Halloween fans. I'm your host, Douglas, here at Drown Boy Productions, and you're watching the 31 Days of Trick or Treat. If you're just now joining us, every single day for 31 days, we're taking a look at a different item from Trick or Treat Studios, starting on Halloween and ending December 1st. This event has been a ton of fun so far. Unfortunately, however, all good things must come to an end, and we are nearing the end of this journey. We are currently in the 4th week of the 31 Days of Trick or Treat, and we're already pretty much halfway through the week. On the first day of the week, we took a look at The Ghoul by Justin Mabry. On the second day, we took a look at The Hybrid by Jordu Shell. On the third day, we took a look at the original A Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger mask and hat combo by Russ Lukic. And today we're going to be taking a look at an assortment of Halloween 3 masks. The initial plan for this video was to do a comparison between the original Halloween 3 masks and the new glow versions of the Halloween 3 masks. These are painted a little bit different. Some of the quality of fabrics is a little bit different. And of course, these are the masks that were used in Halloween Kills. You do see a quick cameo of them in Halloween 2018, but we are going to be pretty much calling these the Halloween Kills trick-or-treater masks. If you're a Halloween fan, chances are you already know about Halloween 3. It is infamously known for being a movie without Michael Myers, and I'll never forget being a little kid and my father telling me about the different Michael Myers movies, and he said, "Oh, Halloween 3, you won't like that one, it doesn't have Michael in it." And I was a bit curious, plus I got that with the Halloween 2 and 3 combo pack, so I just decided to watch it anyway. And I loved the movie. It had a crazy Halloween atmosphere, and it was just really off the walls insane. And to this day, Halloween 3 is probably still my favorite in the entire franchise. We're going to be taking a look at some of the masks. Like I said, I intended to do a comparison between both sets. However, I did not get the new glow pumpkin in, and also I don't want to pull out my original skull because I'll cry. But I'm sure many of you have seen the original Trick or Treat Studios skull. They are great masks, they are very well made, and the glow ones are not too different, but they are an improvement. And since we started talking about the skull, let's go ahead and take a look at it first. Here we have the glow Halloween 3 skull. So starting off on differences, this mask looks more of like a creamy white, whereas the other is more of just like a stark black and white. It's definitely more of like a matte finish, even though I think they did gloss them pretty well. I guess the easiest way to say it is this has a bit more of like a bone color to it, whereas the other is just pretty much straight black and white. On top of that, these masks are pretty heavily textured in the way that they have a lot of like extra little latex pieces where they came out of the mold that didn't get dremeled off. And I don't recall the earlier ones having those issues, but also they just have that same like chalky almost texture that the original Dom Post skulls have. So that's a huge improvement, and that's pretty awesome texture-wise. As far as feeling the mask in hand, just really, really cool. Unfortunately, however, they did use a lot of the original Dom Post methods to paint these, and I've noticed a lot of different paint defects. At least I hope it's paint defects on my copy and not something to do with the mold. But there's like a straight line across the jaw here, a straight line going down the nose and down this part of the face, straight down the middle here, down the chin. It's just like huge, like very, very rough, long streaks. Yet again, if any of you are watching and you know that that's a part of the mold, let me know. But otherwise, that's just a paint defect. And if you flip it around, it does have the silver shamrock chip as well. The only real difference between these and the original Dom Post versions is it does not have the Dom Post name carved here. That's been filled in, and it has Trick or Treat Studios information. They're incredibly well done for latex masks. They feel like they hold their shape very, very well. And if you want to talk about glow, wow, do these suckers glow. The glow paint on them is amazing. It's so perfect, in fact, that you can actually wear this and take your foam flashlight, run it across your face, and draw things directly on the skull itself. I've had a ton of fun just playing around with this thing since it got here, and in my opinion, it's a huge improvement over the other skull. The only improvement that they didn't make that I think they should have made is painting the nose here. Normally on the skulls, this little central ridge here in the nose is painted white. However, on the originals and on these, it remains unpainted. Maybe it's a style choice, but I don't know. Other than that, these things are awesome. Next up, we're going to talk about witches. Let me ask you, can you tell which one is glow and which one is non-glow? Kind of difficult to tell, huh? Well, This is the glow version, this is the non-glow. As far as paint differences, really there are none. Maybe one green's a little bit darker than the other. I think one of them, the original, the tongue's a little bit more pink, whereas the new one, it's a little bit more maroon. This one, the warts on it are painted pretty precisely black, whereas these are just quickly airbrushed, and it is very, very quickly done. They're not very solid. It's just like a quick mist. Other than that, the paint jobs are pretty much exactly the same. Now, as far as the quality of the masks themselves, the newer latex does feel a little bit stiffer and better quality than the older latex. And also, let's talk about the hoods. The hoods on these are completely different. The plush fabric itself is very different. The original is more stiff and coarse. This is much more true to the original Dawn Post masks, at least from what I've seen and from owning hoods of that quality from that era. This is very, very close. These are much softer. As far as comfort goes and quality, these are much, much better. It pretty much has the same appearance. You would have to look very closely to notice, but if you do put the two of them side by side, it is noticeable. And as far as the glow paint, yet again, it is brilliant, though because this is a hooded mask, it's a little bit more difficult to get the light to hit it fully, unless you really peel back the hood and hold it into some direct light and then turn off the lights. But the glow skull, that is a completely different situation. That thing glows like crazy. And last but not least, we'll be taking a look at the pumpkin. Out of the trio, this is the only one that was designed and made for Halloween 3. So that was the original reason for this mask's creation, which is awesome. In a way, it kind of makes this more so the Halloween 3 mask over the other two. Plus, this is the only one that we do finally get to see melt into snakes and bugs. But overall, it's just a great mask. There have been many, many different jack-o'-lantern masks produced throughout the years, and in my opinion, this is still king. Number one, they were so well done, incredibly cool masks, and Trick or Treat Studios brought them to life incredibly well with the originals. This here is an original. The newer ones look a bit more of like a neon orange. It's definitely a bit more vibrant. And in my opinion, I think the newer ones look a little bit closer to the original Dawn Post ones as far as just their normal paint look, plus they glow like crazy. The witch and the skull both glow green, but the pumpkin, however, glows an incredibly bright orange. I actually have a skull mask here to kind of represent what that would look like. This is a vinyl mask, but the orange on that is a little bit closer to this tone, and also this mask does glow in the dark orange. So whenever I do the lights out test, this will be the one that I use to kind of show you guys what the other pumpkin would look like. I know this review's been all over the place, but these are some incredible masks, whether you want them as a Halloween 3 fan or as a Halloween Kills or Halloween 2018 fan. The new glow ones are the ones that are used in those films, so if you want it for that reason, you want to make them look all bloody and crazy, go for the new glow-in-the-dark set. However, if you just want the original Halloween 3 ones, maybe just grab the originals, though, in my opinion, the glow ones look a lot better. And all these masks are cast off of the original Dawn Post masks. Some of them are slightly retooled in some very subtle ways, but overall they're pretty much the same exact masks you would have seen on screen. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the excerpt directly from the Trick or Treat Studios website. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at prices. Since we're talking about more than one mask, and the normal non-glow masks do cost less than the new glow masks, let's go ahead and talk about that first. The non-glow pumpkin is $50. The non-glow witch is $60. The non-glow skull is also $50. The glow-in-the-dark pumpkin is $60. The glow-in-the-dark witch is $70. And the glow-in-the-dark skull is also $60. I imagine they all have pretty similar write-ups, so let's go ahead and just read the one from the glow-in-the-dark skull. It says, developed by Justin Mabry. He's the one that handled the recasting of the Dawn Post ones and slight retool work. Trick or Treat Studios and Universal Studios are proud to present the official Halloween 3 Season of the Witch glow-in-the-dark skull mask. This mask is an identical replica of the mask created by Connell Cochran to kill innocent children on Halloween night, but now in glow-in-the-dark. The official Halloween 3 Season of the Witch skull mask was sculpted by our art director Justin Mabry and is based on numerous screenshots to make it the most screen-accurate mask ever released. Mask includes the Silver Shamrock Power Chip. So maybe they're crediting Justin because he did ground-up sculpt the skull? However, I thought these were all recasts off of the originals, but the original, at least the skull, was made by Pat Newman. As for prices on these, the non-glow masks are a little bit below the average price for the full head latex masks, and the glow versions are pretty much that average cost. So in my opinion, great prices either way, but I would splurge a little bit extra for the glow in the dark. And if you want any of these masks yourself, you can get them directly from Trick or Treat Studios or one of the plethora of retailers that they work with. And with that being said, there's nothing left to do but give you all some nice close-ups, and I gotta hurry because the giveaway starts soon. I love you all, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.